it seems to me that it's either hitting sort of those midlife times, those like, I don't know, 35, 40, 45, 50, or it's having kids that seems to trigger a look backwards at our childhoods. And, um, and sometimes that look backwards, it usually comes with some other pieces of information, right? That we've gotten old enough to realize that like our friends didn't all have our same experiences of growing up, or we realize we want to provide a different experience to our children, or we start to look back, or we start to hear stories like in the news or whatever, or people, a cultural conversation about something that renames something that we thought of as just part of our childhood, and we start to realize how problematic so much of it was, right? We start to realize how much wounding there is in there and how much pain there was. And sometimes those things are things we were just like, oh yeah, that's what happened. And we don't hear in it. We normalize it as kids because we have to in order to survive it. We minimize how damaging it is so that we can get through. And if we don't stop and look back on it at some point, usually it just keeps building and the pressure keeps building inside. And if we do stop and look back at it, we're often shocked at like our own normalization of bad behavior on the part of other folks. And I think that's a hard moment in healing, when we have to name it, when we have to really accurately name what happened. The other bummer about that part is that naming it it changes how we hold it maybe, but it doesn't change the thing itself. And so there's a way that we kind of have to keep moving forward, right? We have to walk into that unfamiliar territory. What does this mean is the thing that comes next. And so it means we have to start to locate ourselves. And that means that we have to start seeing accurately like our own responses, how we feel about things, how we hold them, how we use them as pieces of information in our own daily behavior now. And so it becomes this just redefining of so much more stuff, right? And I think it's important to know that the naming is significant. And even though it doesn't heal the thing, it is the first step. And what it does is it unlocks the door to us figuring out what we really want instead. What is important to us, and what steps do we need to take in order to move forward? And that ability to start to determine a direction is a really powerful moment. So the naming can be very painful, and that ability to get closer to what we want instead is power. And so if you're feeling like you're caught in the moment, there's a lot of news going around that's triggering old memories for folks. And if the old memory is inviting you to redefine something differently that feels painful, know that power is on the other side. And power doesn't mean you have to do anything publicly. Power doesn't mean you have to tell everybody. Power doesn't mean anything other than it gives you the ability to move your life in a direction that of your own choosing. And so if those things are happening for you, I hope you have a lot of support, first of all, because I also think this is something that is hard to do alone. We can't do it alone. It's trauma. It's deep. It has deep roots, and it is really something that's best done with someone who can hold it and is well trained in how to do that. So good luck out there if this is you.